Thank you, everybody, and welcome to the first regular monthly meeting of the Mayor and Council being held in Borough Hall, Monday, August 8th, 2022, starting at 6:37. Missy, could you please read the roll?
Mayor Nunziato,
Here.
Councilman Goldsack, Councilman Leahy,
Here.
Councilman Coakley,
Here.
Councilman McGowan, Councilman Beg Roberson,
Here.
Councilman Guzman.
Thank you. If you're willing and able, could you please stand for the salute to the flag? Missy, could you please read the provisions?
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law, Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, notice of this meeting was transmitted to the Record and Herald News and filed with the Borough Clerk on December 13th and 30th, 2021, and is posted on the bulletin board outside of Borough Hall.
Thank you, Missy. Brian, the engineer's report, please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. We just started Thank you. Thank you, Administrator, for reminding me. We've
Can you
started
please
the
stand on your left
2-0.
foot?
Sir?
Can you please stand on your left foot?
We started the 2022 road program with Monona, getting curbs and select sidewalks as per the DPW and our office's review. That project is now active. We put in for the 2023 grant applications with East Pierpont, Woodland Avenue, and we're also looking to do some municipal work at Clark Avenue and Beach Street. That'll be for next year. We did extensive Hurricane Ida repair work at West Gouverneur. That is now done. New drains, sidewalks were needed. We regraded some of the curb cuts into the driveways, and that will be paved in this incoming road program that we just started. But that work was all done due to Storm Ida. The retaining wall that was also damaged at the American Legion, that is wrapped up, and we're just going to make sure that the paving is to our satisfaction. And Tamlin Field is in process. We're going to fine tune some of the play areas, but for the most part, the contractor is on site and working. He did have a delay due to the death in the family and is going to get back to it this week. Grant status, we've been chasing the borough's money from the DOT. They have not been functioning at 100% right now, but we are current and we will be tracking that money and advising them in the borough when it comes in through the new NJDOT account management system. So that's what we have, unless there's any pressing issues that the council may have for me.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for the borough engineer? No, the only piece of this is we had emails going back and forth today regarding the school safety zones that
Right.
we're going to work on. I know you guys are all working on that with the borough administrator and police chief and DPW, and I just want it all done and wrapped up before school opens.
Whatever the team needs, we'll put it together to assist with the mapping and markouts.
Thank you very much,
Okay,
Brian.
no problem. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Good night, guys.
We have no presentations this evening, so we'll move to the changes to the proposed agenda. Missy?
On page 2, under President of the Council, we'll be adding item C, resolution to authorize the change orders 2 and 3 to Smith-Sondy for the 2020 road program. Also on page 2, under President of the Council, we'll be adding item D, resolution for payment of bills in the amount of $161,519.78. Under consent agenda, police will be removing block party requests on September 10th, 2022 on Sylvan Street. Nothing further.
Thank you, Missy. Any other changes by the council? Seeing none? May I have a roll call, please? Or a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Council President this evening, and may I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Malahy,
Yes.
Councilman Coakley,
Yes.
Councilman Big Roberson.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. We'll now move on to hearing of citizens. Please state your name, address, come up to the microphone, and keep your comments to 5 minutes or less, please.
Good evening. My name is David Protomastro. I live at 175 Union Avenue. I was here a few years ago about a parking problem
Sorry,
at the
could you
corner.
just say your last name again, please?
Yes, Protomastro. P-R-O-T-O-M-A-S-T-R-O.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I was here a few years ago about a parking problem on the corner of Hackett Place and Union Avenue. There were cars parking in the yellow zone, no parking zone, day and night over weekends and over a few days. The problem was resolved for a few years, but the problem seems to have come back. One car in particular uses the yellow zone as their personal parking space. It's a busy intersection, hard to make turns sometimes when another car is coming. There's a school nearby, there are families nearby living in the area. I'd just like to know what we can do about this. The car is parked illegally there now, and there are other parking spaces available, and the car has a designated parking space in the apartment building lot.
We don't go back and forth till the very end. We will address it
Okay,
after everybody else speaks.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else?
Kevin Poirot, 7 Chestnut Street. I had mentioned these two items a long time ago. I would like it just so that it's not forgotten. When you repave Union Avenue, and you mill specifically by the Rutherford Congregational Church, the visibility by paving over every couple of years, you've actually raised the grade and decreased the visibility of going over that hill. I do know someone many years ago that got hit by a car. The car came up from the business area. He was crossing by the church. Didn't see him because the grade has increased over the years. My suggestion is, when it gets milled by the county, to try to lower that as much as possible. Obviously, you have driveways and other issues that you can't just like lower the whole street, but that might help the visibility by that crosswalk by the church. The other thing I had mentioned many years ago is on the sidewalks. If you can, the business district has like a design in the concrete, which in my opinion is fantastic, because a tree root comes up, you only have to fix a small area of the sidewalk instead of the whole thing. But I'd like to suggest, as other people replace their sidewalks, or even in the business district, when they put in new driveway aprons and stuff, they don't continue that pattern. And there's a lot of, even in the business district, that there's new sidewalks and it doesn't, when it gets replaced, it's not with that same pattern. Minor thing, consistency throughout the town is, I think it would be a good idea, and again, easier to fix as the sidewalk is raised over the years. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Porro. Anybody else from the public wishing to speak?
Good evening, everybody. Adam Zura, 94 Freeland Avenue. Mayor, I guess you know that I'm going to have to ask this question, but what's with the sidewalk to nowhere outside the windows here? It's missed the side entrance to Borough Hall by at least 10 feet, and it's actually reduced the size of the new parking lot. And it seems that the visual reminder will actually cement the the council's reputation as the gang that can't shoot straight. And it doesn't seem right to you guys, and it really should be fixed. There's no logical termination to that, other than some blank concrete that goes nowhere. As for, is it Mascioni and Berman? Unless the borough is planning to open a surgical center, the council approval of Resolution 149 at its last meeting makes less sense than paying the thousands to prove that they were unqualified to design a memorial in the first place. Public defense of the decision was ludicrous. Any description of the firm's rendering as excellent work product is refuted by the obvious lack of even the most basic design criteria knowledge. And it's saying that someone has been mentioned, and I don't know if his name is right, but is it a Chiro or a Kiro that's been discussed before? Anyway, saying that this person is a nice guy doesn't justify a taxpayer-funded friends and family hire. His alleged love of Rutherford is not reflected in the open-ended $28,000 contract to manage the $16,000 reimagination of Claris Tunnel that was approved by resolution number 56 on February 14th of this year. And contrary to the claim that M&B's fees are in line with other professional services, the billing rate for its lowest listed employees exceeds that of the borough attorney. The resolution allowing this high-priced Manhattan firm to charge double the estimated tunnel construction cost for its services doesn't share, or doesn't square actually, with the single-digit rates that Neglia charges on million-dollar projects for the borough. Taxpayers simply can't afford to continue paying for the council's poor decision-making. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zura. Anybody else from the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, I'm going to close it to the public and now open it up for any council comments. Councilman?
It's going red. Is this better? Okay, I did see the chief taking notes, so I do think your issue will be addressed, okay? Yeah.
Any other council members? All right, Councilman Malay is correct. The chief was taking notes, so I'm sure he's going to be all over it. Mr. Port, thank you. I will address that with our engineer. So, and we'll move on. We do not have a closed session this evening, so we will move on to Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of July 18th, 2022. Motion?
Motion by Councilman Malahy. May I have a second?
Second.
Okay, second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Malahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Big Robertson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to authorize the suspension of parking meter enforcement during installation and testing of the new borough parking meter heads. Motion?
Motion by Councilman Malay. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Roberson. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Malahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Big Robertson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is a resolution authorizing the change orders number 2 and 3 to Smith-Sondy for the 2020 road program. Motion?
Motion by Councilman Malay. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Roberson. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Malahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Big Robertson?
Yes.
Thank you. Next is a resolution for payment of bills 2022. We have a resolution that bills in the amount of $161,519.78 be paid. Motion?
Motion by Councilman Malay, may I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Big Robertson?
Yes.
Thank you. Last but not least, we have the consent agenda items. All items authorized to be consent by the council will be enacted by one motion. These items are considered routine in nature. Motion.
Motion by Councilman Malay, may I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Big Robertson?
Yes.
I think that's it.
Thank you. Sorry. Committee reports. Finance.
Mayor, I believe I have finance, and there's nothing to report.
Thank you, Councilman.
I'll save you some breath. I have police as well, and there's nothing to report.
You could just take them all tonight, it'd be great. Councilman Guzman's not here, who's second? Councilman Coakley.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to move the resolution number 163, the award of pay-to-play contract to American Hose and Hydraulics for a 2022 fleet maintenance in the amount not to exceed $38,000. Motion?
Motion by Councilman Coakley, may I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Robertson. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, I do have a comment. Sunday, I was with the fire chief in the fire truck that we bought for $14,000, and I think that was an incredible deal. It's a very functional piece of equipment. I can't even believe we got that for 14, so thank you, Councilman. Moving on, again,
Wait, Councilman Leahy?
vote, I'm sorry. Councilman Lay?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Big Robertson?
Yes.
Thank you, sorry about that.
No worries. Thank you, sir. Nothing more from Public Works or Councilman Guzman's agenda. Just, again, save you some breath, moving into fire. Make a motion to accept the resignation of Michael Pashota from Engine Company Number 4.
Motion by Councilman Coakley, may I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Leahy. Any other questions or comments? Missy?
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Big Robertson?
Yes.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to move resolution number 165, authorization of a change order for number 2 fire engine refurbishment that will increase by $3,883.
Motion by Councilman Coakley, may I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Robertson. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, I'll comment again. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I thought I could get it all out up here, but I'm very impressed with what the fire department's up to right now.
I thank the Borough Administrator and Gordon for their assistance.
Thank you guys for your assistance.
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Big Robertson?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on. Buildings and grounds.
Nothing to report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Moving on. Recreation.
I believe that's me again, Mayor. We've got resolution number 166, approving the application for a grant from the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs. Motion.
Motion by Councilman Lay. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Big Robertson?
Yes.
Thank you. As my mayoral reports, I have nothing to report this evening, and my liaison assignment to the Sports and Exposition Authority and Streetscape, I also have nothing to report this evening. Under appointments, first I would like to provisionally appoint as mechanic in accordance with the rules and regulations of the New Jersey Civil Service, effective August 11, 2022, Jay Fromm. May I have a motion, please? Motion by Councilman Malay. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Robertson. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Big Robertson?
Yes.
Thank you. Second, provisional appointment of labor 2 in accordance with the rules and regulations of the civil service of the state of New Jersey, effective August 11, 2022. I'd ask to appoint Sean Taylor. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Roberson. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none. Missy?
Councilman Leahy?
Yes.
Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Peg Roberson?
Yes.
Thank you. Next up, I'd like to ask for council consent to rehire maintenance worker 1 grounds in accordance with the rules and regulations of the state of New Jersey Civil Service effective August 9, 2022. I'd ask for consent for Ryan Arnold. Motion by Councilman Malay. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Roberson. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Leahy? Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Peg Roberson?
Yes.
Thank you. Next up is Park Ranger in accordance with the rules and regulations of the State of New Jersey Civil Service at $13 an hour effective August 9, 2022. I'd ask for council consent for Colin Swift.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Roberson. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, Missy?
Councilman Leahy? Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Peg Roberson?
Yes.
Thank you. The next up, I'd ask for council consent for the fall soccer staff, youth referees, Ava Matucci, Poppy Binson, Natalia Engler, Alexandra Guzman, Gia Harenko, Christine, I'm sorry about this,
Iliev.
Cassidy Olivarsi, Asaria Panservia, Sid Rogers, Carrie Gustafer. I'd ask for council consent. Motion by Councilman Malay. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Coakley. Any questions or comments by the council? Seeing none, may I have a roll call?
Councilman Leahy? Councilman Coakley?
Yes.
Councilman Peg Roberson?
Yes.
Thank you. Finally, the Arts Committee, I don't believe I need, I'm just appointing Alex Brias, Gina Satil, Jeff Satil, J.J. Gonzalez, Jennifer Gonzalez, Michael Pelerinsky, Pat Bonner, and Matt Ackerman. Thank you. I believe that's all we have. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Lay, seconded by Councilman Coakley. All in favor?
Yes.
Have a great night, everybody.